I want to just spread hope among people and let them know that they can do anything that they want to do. Just do something you love. Take heed that you do not your justice before men to be seen by them. This verse is so powerful. It's saying don't do things in order to please others and just do things because you want to do them.
You are an individual, a single human being as distinct from a group, class, or family.
I guess people watching and following you know because of the individual you are and the way you be yourself. At least that is what I appreciate. I see a lot of people changing and being someone else, and that is very uncomfortable. Listen, Danny, I'm telling you right now, that is literally the exact reason that I do the things that I do. That is the biggest thing that I want to convey on this earth.
Yeah, it kind of means a lot to me. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. My name is Noah, and I have something I want to share with you that I've been sharing for quite a while now. As you can see, the concept of individuality is something that I've been talking about for the last few years of my life, and it's been a huge, I'm willing to say, purpose for me to convey that message to others and help others learn the ideas of individuality and utilize it in their own lives. I want to express to you guys why individuality means so much to me and how it changed my life and why I think you should start practicing the idea of individuality, embracing who you are in your life, because you can be so much happier if you start or continue to practice this idea of individuality. But we're going to take it way back to the beginning here of my life and back to when I was a child in elementary school. Growing up, I always had this weird idea that for some reason, the friend group that I had, there were about maybe 5 to 7 of us. I don't really know, I can't remember the exact number because we had some that were, we had a friend group. We had a group of people that were friends. But I always thought that we were the quote-unquote cool kids. Now, this idea isn't any rhyme or reason to it. I just thought that we were fun, we were cool, we did cool things, and people wanted to be us. Really conceited. I have no idea why that idea was in my head, but that's what I thought when I was growing up in elementary school. Now, growing up, I was super attached to this group of people, and we hung out together for years. It lasted all the way up until the beginning of high school. We would hang out all the time. There'd always be at least 3 of us hanging out together, just doing some nonsense stuff that we would do back in the days. Drive play school cars, plastic cars, down the front of my yard, off of a black launch ramp, and with somebody inside and then someone standing on the back. You know, normal kid stuff. Growing up, there were also several moments where I did not think for myself. If I was hanging out with my friends and they went to go do something or wanted to do something, I wouldn't really sit back and think if I actually wanted to do it. My response was just, okay, sure. Let's do it. This group of people lasted till about the beginning of high school. The group kind of split up and paired off, and there'd be 2 guys here, 2 guys here, 2 guys over there hanging out, and they would be super close, and then there was me. Which is fine. I mean, high school is a time of finding out who you are. Now, luckily for me though, throughout this time, I had Jackie. We've been dating since 7th grade. She was always there for me to support me throughout this time, and she always kind of kept me motivated to keep going and kind of kept me sane in a way. And I'm so lucky to have her throughout that process, because it would have been a lot more difficult without her. But just as everyone else was taking their time to find out who they were, I also took time to find out who I was. I started to skateboard even more. During this time, I started to really dive headfirst right into my faith and my Christian journey. This was also the time when my obsession for Star Wars started to come back and kind of rise up the ranks a little bit. Obsessed, if you guys couldn't tell. Helmets galore over here. But yes, while all of those individual things have extreme differences, some a lot more serious, some just goofy. It was the beginning of who you guys now know, who sit in front of this camera talking to you at this very moment. This was the start of me. As the years grew on, I continued to consume a ton of content centered around the idea of development of various kinds, from business to branding to your social media platforms. to your person, to your faith, and just everything. And all of this content ended up driving me to be the person who I am now, who's obsessed with the concept of individuality. I started to pursue my own happiness rather than the happiness of others. I started to go and do things that I wanted to do. Prime example of this is in college. If there was a party going on and some of my friends were going, but I genuinely wanted to hang back and play some video games with my other buddies, I stayed home. If I wanted to have some of my friends over and hang out and have a good time, but I wanted to also bump some Christian trap music, I did it. If I wanted to collect a bunch of Star Wars helmets and lightsabers and hang them up in my dorm room and kind of look like a big nerd, I did. I stopped starting to see myself as the cool kid, and instead, I started to see myself for me. Now, I will admit that this was a gradual process. It took years of fully practicing and consciously making these decisions, but I'll tell you what, once I finally started making these decisions, my life took a complete 180. I became so much happier, and it showed in every single aspect of my life. In college, for example, I developed some amazing bonds with some of the best friends anybody could find. And that friend group that ended up splitting up junior year of high school, yeah, we started hanging out again, and now the friendship that we have is 100 times better than what it was. My content creation overall just became so much better because I was genuinely interested in what I was doing. I wasn't worried about what other people thought. I was doing what I wanted to do and had fun with it. My nursing career led me to a path that I genuinely love my job. And if you guys know me, I hate working, like, entirely. I hate it. I became super strong in my faith to the point of getting unashamed tattooed on my arm, which has led to some amazing conversations that I never would have had without having the confidence that I have in my beliefs. This is why everybody needs to practice the concept of individuality. Embrace who you are, do what you want to do, don't try to make others happy, and find genuine happiness in your life. Because your life too can change. Wow. I hope I was able to change at least one person's life with this video and plant a seed and have the idea of individuality start to blossom. And could just continue to go out and practice it every day. Do one thing that you like a day, and you'll start to see the progression of joy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like down below. Hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see more from me. That being said, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Go out and be you guys. I mean, I just don't even... There's nothing else to say.